Hey guys, ZeroArmada here, patch minute for October 23rd, 2012. It's been a while since we had a patch, and this patch is a behemoth. I mean, the list goes on, and I'm going to link you guys to the patch notes in its entirety in the description box down below. I'm just going to kind of go over mostly the main and big feature changes that have happened with this patch. For the most part, it's mostly bug fixes, and a lot of content has been added in the back end to kind of prepare for the evacuation patch coming out next week, which will be more geared for content release. Just kind of going over quickly a lot of the highlights stuff. Like I said, additions added a practice mode against rudimentary bots on Holodeck, accessible from the main menu. So if you've probably seen a couple of preview screenshots on the zombie developers' Twitters of using the practice mode, it's essentially just a bunch of AI bots that you can kind of practice your sharpshooting against on Holodeck. Added a button to select your default loadout in the customization menu. So normally, in order to change your loadout, you actually have to go into a game, die, then switch your loadout. Or you can switch your loadout before you die, but you're not going to be able to use your new loadout until you die in that specific game, or unless you rejoin a different match, for that matter. So now you can actually just pick your loadout before you actually go into game and bypass all of that hassle. Added the ability to customize the gear loadout on all heroes. So basically, you can now customize your grenades, your landmines, your HRV blackouts, any of that sort of stuff, except for tactical gear such as health injector or revival injector. You cannot customize those, only gear items. Added a filter in the server browser to hide official servers. This is more of a back-end feature that's going to be useful for once the premium servers come out, whenever they come out. Added 5 more levels, bringing the level cap to 40. It's kind of self-explanatory. Added a region select feature for private matches, so now players can actually pick the specific region they want the private match to go into, instead of having kind of luck of the draw, sort of a kind of meta game, I guess you can say, for trying to find an ideal private server for them. Added the ability to send inactive items to other players via mail, so this is kind of the trading feature that the developers have been hinting at. This is kind of, I guess, the bare bones at its basics right now, but you can send inactive items to other players via DMs and mail in-game. Added audio option for forcing default voices, so if people are being terrorized, or if you're being terrorized by seeing inner voice packs all over the game, you can enable this option and you'll just hear the default voice packs instead. Added a Twitter UI and an account setting functionality, so now users can actually log into Twitter in game, and they can actually automatically tweet out certain game and match milestones. And we don't know exactly what those milestones are, but that sounds like a pretty cool social media feature that you can kind of share your stats in game seamlessly like that with Twitter. Added account settings to auto decline friend, clan, and party invitations. So now you can actually automatically decline any invitation to join a clan or any friend and party requests at will. Added clan leadership transfer, so now clan leaders can actually transfer their leadership position to other clan members in the clan. Server browser now displays mutators for selected games in the right side panel and unlock tooltips. So now, if you've seen the screenshot that Crabclaw posted last week in the maintenance thread, you saw a list of mutators for the premium servers. Mutators meaning stuff that modifies the game settings, such as allow or disallow depot, allow, disallow secondary weapons, etc. So you can actually see what mutators are enabled and disabled in that specific game on the server browser listings. Added a new video setting for disabling and enabling weather effects. This is more of another preemptive feature for the evac map coming out next week, which has a lot of weather effects such as rain and thunderstorms, so this setting can allow you to enable and disable those effects at will. Now for the changes, there's a lot of big changes, but probably one of the biggest things that they fixed in this patch: HRV toggle animation is no longer skipped or cancelled by using sprint. There is now a sprinting HRV toggle animation that is used instead. So there's this prevalent bug called the HRV glitch that pretty much a lot of people in the community know about. You can seamlessly get into and out of HRV by sprinting to cancel the HRV on and off animations. So it's an unfair advantage to those who know about it and those who don't know about it. Developers have basically said that they're not going to fix it, because it's kind of one of those bugs that becomes a feature and becomes kind of a metagame for the actual game itself. And a lot of people really liked it, but it had to go. A couple of reasons. First off, like I said, it's an unfair advantage to those who don't know about it. And second off, for spectator, you can't really tell who's in HRV and who's not if you can't see them go into and out of HRV with the actual animation, because when people cancel the animation you won't see that. So it leaves a lot of ambiguity for people trying to spectate other people and kind of discerning if they're in HRV or not. So it's a change that's not only going to help the betterment of the game but the community as well. So it just had to happen. Other changes: HRV toggle off option will now turn HRV off if releasing the HRV key in the middle of the turn on animation. Increased toxic grenade duration by 2.5 seconds. Jumping in the middle of an animation to heal yourself with the repair tool will now cancel the heal. Several rendering options should improve performance, especially on low-end machines. So if you had frame rate issues or if you had slowdowns while playing the game, you should probably notice a big boost in performance on your end. If you have a low-end computer, you can no longer switch weapons while doing a stationary taunt, and you can no longer perform a gun melee while doing a stationary taunt. So if you're taunting, you're pretty much screwed and out in the middle of the open waiting to get shot in the face by someone else. The select prompt for weapon depots is no longer localized from the jump keybind. It is instead just a spacebar. So when you're in a depot, you can't press the spacebar and jump, which was something that was kind of an annoyance for some people. It will just registers the spacebar command and that's it. You won't jump when you're in the actual depot trying to pick out a flamethrower or a health refill or anything of the sort. Localization files are no longer present in the client. These are basically files that kind of dictate the content and all of the strings embedded into the game for all the items and stuff in game. So those are all done away with. You can't see them anymore because a lot of people have been kind of digging into those files and seeing maybe some of the test or some of the future content that might be in the game. Fixes: fixed an issue where the incorrect number of gear slots would appear based on the chest armor that you have equipped. Fixed an exploit that allowed for 2 frag grenades to be equipped. You can only have one of a specific gear type item in your gear slot. So you can't have 2 frag grenades, you can't have 2 landmines or anything of the sort. Playlist and server browser now properly displays all game modes and maps. It is properly displays if the map is of a random or a repeat game mode type rotation as well. So the actual server browser wasn't really accurate for the whole map rotation and the game mode rotation, so now you can actually look on the server and see what maps are coming up next or what game modes are coming up next, and you can kind of see that it's actually accurate now. Hard suits with special camo no longer revert to default after the burn effects from a flamethrower go away. So kind of makes me want to speculate that maybe there's going to be camos for hard suits in the future, which will be really cool for players. But like I said, that's kind of a speculation, just reading that specific fix offhand. Other fixes: fix the location where you can actually get outside of the level in Vortex. Player join and leave messages no longer show up in spectators, or show up for spectators I should say. So if you're in a game, you can't see spectators join and leave your game to spectate. It used to be kind of an issue for some people, so now it's been fixed. Repair gun now hurts an empty Scorpion tank if you're on a defensive team, and now heals an empty Scorpion tank if you're on the escort team, which was an issue as well. Turn down audio for explosive ammo effect, so now when you're shot by an explosive round from a particular weapon, you won't have an ear-shattering noise with that bullet to your face or your chest or anywhere in your body. There's also been some various audio fixes added into the client. Audio for the combat rifle, LMG, and the SARC for third person have been fixed. Fixed the audio for the first and third person SARC drum magazine reload, and also fixed the audio for the ammunition box and the respawn beacon. Lastly, fixed HRV audio being heard twice, and overall there's been some audio optimizations done in the back end to kind of clean some stuff out. But that's been pretty much it for this week's patch minute. Like I said, next week will be the evac patch if everything goes as planned. Be having a lot of new content to talk about, a lot of exciting stuff to talk about next week. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or comments or anything of the sort, please feel free to leave them down below. Thanks for watching as always. Appreciate it.